us for today's webinar. My name is Haris Idris, and I'm the Business Development Executive at KAISPE. And KAISPE is one of the leading technology solutions provider in the world. We help customers integrate their devices and processes with their business applications. And using the Microsoft Dynamics Azure Power Platform and as an ISP and service provider, we help businesses to achieve digital transformation. Using the Microsoft platform through a unique blend of skills and technologies, Capspace is also a Microsoft Gold partner and their indirect reseller. We are also a partner in delivering Microsoft webinars and online events like we have done in the past, like App in a Day and process automation in a day. And the reason behind this webinar is that many customers and find themselves in situations where their business applications have not kept up with changing technologies and user demand. So using Microsoft Power Platform and Power BI, customers can stay agile, modernize, and automate where possible and streamline business processes for business users to be more productive and efficient. So today we are presenting Power BI and the event will present by Mr. Ahmad and Mr. Adnan Ali. Before we get started, if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box. We will bring them up during the presentation and we will also have time for questions at the end. So Mr. Adnan Ali will give you a deep overview about Power BI.
Thank you, Haris, for discussing the company information. I am Adnan Ali, working as a Power BI functional consultant. Along with me, I have another team member, Ahmad Majid, who is working as a technical consultant in Power BI department. He will support us in demonstration of different features in our session side by side. So let's look at the session agenda first. About KSP, Haris already have explained what is Power BI. We will look at the features and benefits. Why should your business need Power BI? Then we'll see the highlights of how manager can make better decision through dashboards. Then demo and Q&A. What is Power BI? Power BI is a suite of business analytics tools to analyze data and shares insight. Monitor your business and get answer quickly with rich dashboards available on every device. With Power BI, you can connect to many different data sources, combine and shape data from those connections, then create reports and dashboard that can be shared with others. Your data might be an Excel spreadsheet or a collection of cloud-based and on-premises hybrid data warehouses. Now look at some good features and benefits of using Power BI. Feature and benefits of Power BI: shape and combining data. So with Power BI, you can connect to many different types of data sources, then shape the data to meet your needs, enabling you to create visuals report to share with others. Shaping data means transforming the data into renaming the columns or tables. Sometimes we require to changes the text to numbers, or even we require the removing the rows from the data. If we discuss about the yes, we are sharing the screen. Shaping data means transforming the data, like sometime we need to clean the data, sometime we need to renaming the columns or table as per the requirement, sometime we need to change the text to numbers, and sometime we remove the unnecessary rows from the data and setting the first row as header and so on. Because when we discuss about the data, so data is always in the raw form. To view the data and visualize, we must have to perform this type of activity from the data. Second is combining the data. Combining data means connecting two or more data sources, shaping them as needed, then consolidated into a single query. Then finally, these data will be converted into the visuals. So what we have planned that we will discuss the feature and side by side Ahmad will show the shaping and combination from the Power BI, how we can perform the shape and combining data into the Power BI.
Thank you, Adnan Ali. That was a great introduction about Power BI, its importance, and how it helps business stakeholders in improving their business decisions by providing data insights. Okay, so let me first give you a brief introduction about the interface of the Power BI and its platforms. So there are three platforms of Power BI on which you can use Power BI. Number first is Power BI Desktop. It is basically an on-premises software application which you can download and install on your local Windows computer. And we will mainly use Power BI Desktop throughout our demo. And second, we have Power BI Service. It is an on-cloud platform and you can access that through a web browser. And it is mainly used for sharing purposes of like sharing the reports and dashboards across your organization. And third, we have a mobile application platform. So when you download and install Power BI Desktop, that is the first screen, the first interface you see here. Okay, so we have this. This is called the reporting pane. Here we create our visuals, dashboards, and and certain many kind of visuals are there. Second, we have is the data pane. Here we can see the actual data on which we are doing reporting. And this is the data pane. Okay, and the last we have is a data modeling pane. So here we create some sort of communication between the tables, some sort of relationship between the tables, so the records can be filtered out properly. Which we will see later in our demo course also. So back to the reporting pane. On the right, we have is this filters pane. Here we add filter criteria. We can add filter on a visual also, and we can also add filter on the whole page also. Okay, then adjacent to it, we have a variety of visuals out there. We have column charts, a line chart for time series analysis. We have pie charts and cards for showing a single value, tables and KPIs, key performance indicators. And in the last, we have this field pane. This is what our data sources are. Okay, so for let me give you a brief introduction of what our data is. So basically, we have gathered a sample data. It's about steel wine company. It's a cycle manufacturing company. Okay, so here you can see the data here. We have product SKU categories, product name, and all things designs. Okay, so so basically there are three phases before you create a visual in Power BI. So first is extraction, second is transformation, and then we have loading. So in extraction phase, we get data from multiple sources. As Adnan said, we can get data from multiple sources. So to get a data, just go onto the get data pane, and here you will find options of data sources. Here also, when you go to more, here you will find 100 plus sources Power BI offers you to get data from. So in this case, we will use Excel file as our data source. So let's wait for a while. It's loading. Okay, so we have this Excel file. Click on next one, then connect. Go to the path where Excel file is stored. So I will that file. Okay, okay. Okay, so that is the simple step how we can get data from the sources. You can get data from SQL Server and third-party applications like reside on a website. Also, you can get data from. Okay, so that is the PV thing. When you get data, it gives you two options. Either you want to load that data and either you want to transform your data. If your data is accurate and doesn't need any kind of transformation like cleaning and removing outliers, so you can directly load the data. But it is recommended that you must recheck your data, so there can be no outliers or no missing values in your data. So when you click on the transform data, it will move you to a new window which is called Power Query Editor window, and that window is basically we use for transformation. So like Adnan Ali said, we can change the column name, change the data type. So here you can see by going to the transform window, here we have data type mentioned. Okay, so Power BI is basically a cool software. It automatically detects what kind of data we have in each column and assign it a data type also. Here you can see that whenever the first data is loaded, it is in that position, and after that it automatically detects and place first row as headers, and it automatically change the data type also. Okay, so we can do a transformation here by utilizing the features which are available here. We can perform group by operation also here. Okay, we can add columns. We can add columns by conditional base also. Okay, so let me give you uh, some basic example. Like we have here is first name and last name, and if I want to combine these two columns, I can combine it by selecting these two by control key and go into the column example, and from selection here we'll see the new column is appear. So we just want to write John and then the delimiter, uh, and then the second time. When you press enter, it will merge all the new columns with the new name. Yes, when you click OK, it will give you, it will provide you a new column, and we can also rename that to full name. So there are many steps you can perform out there, but so, so
Thank you, Amrad, for nicely handling the features of data shaping and combining. Now we have a second features which is a data blending. Data blending is a process where by big data from multiple sources are merged into a single data warehouse or data source. It concerns not merely the merging of different file format or disparate source of data, but also different varieties of data. And thirdly, data blending allow business analysts to cope with the expansion of data that they need to make critical business decisions based on a quality business intelligence tools. So in Power BI, we have a variety of data sources we can connect. But again, that our data always in a raw form. So we need to perform some sort of data warehousing. We need to eliminate the unnecessary data, and we need to sometime rename the data. So these all things comes under the data blending. And second one is refer to a data connector. The terms data connectors from data analytics point refer to a solution that enable the connectivity between data analytics tools and data sources. Here you can see the snapshot where I have attached the screen. So these different type of data sources we can connect from the Power BI very easily. Flat files and folders like CSV, tags, and databases, SQL, Access, Oracle, IBM, online services like SharePoints, GitHub, Dynamics 365, others web feeds, and R script, etc. So now Ahmad will show you how we can perform the data blending and how we can connect from the different connectors.
Okay, so as Anali said that we have that we can gather data from multiple sources. And so we have 100 plus sources out there in Microsoft Power BI. It can be let's say we have let's say ABC company in which its HR department stores its data, its employees data in an Excel file, and its transactional data is stored in an SQL server DB, and its e-commerce data resides on a third-party application website. So here we have sources of the same company but on different locations. So we can download all these three resources and can combine them, consolidate them into a one single data set. Okay, so here you can see I have loaded multiple files or the product categories and the product subcategories uh, and products data. So they are basically different sources where I'm getting the data from, and we have sales data also, the customers data we have also available. So when you download that data and clean out here, so then simply click on the close and apply, and all the changes, all the transformation you did in the Power Query Editor window will show up here. Okay, so and these all the sources will become one data set when you publish that report into the Power BI service. Later, I will show you how we can do that. So over to Adnan.
Integration with third-party application. With Power BI, you can use an app built by a company or individual other than Microsoft. You might use a third-party app that integrate Power BI tiles into a custom-built web application. Also, it is important that you only grant permission to application that you know or trust. Permission to an application can be revoked at any time. So it's totally depend on the administrator to which app you allow for grant permission, or you can similarly revoke the permission at any time if you don't want anymore. Also, it's uh, have a capability to integrate from the Oracle, SAP, QuickBook, and any other source of data. Real-time streaming is a good feature of Power BI. Power BI with real-time streaming help you stream data and updates dashboard in real time. Any visual or dashboard created in Power BI can display and update real-time data and visuals. The devices and source of streaming data can be factory sensors, social media sources, service usage, metrics, or many other time sensitive data collectors or transmitter. There are a couple of types that update on the real time basis. So first one is push data set, second one is streaming data set, and third one is PubNub streaming data set. First, we need to understand the what is push data set. With a push data set, data is pushed into a Power BI service. When data set is created, the Power BI service automatically create a new database in the service to store the data. Second is streaming data set. Streaming data set also pushes data into the Power BI service with an important difference. Power BI stores the data only into a temporary cache which quickly expire. The temporary cache is only used to display visual that have some transition history, such as line chart that has a time window of 1 hour. And the last one is PubNub streaming dataset. With PubNub streaming dataset, the Power BI web client uses the PubNub SDK to read an existing PubNub data stream. The Power BI service stores no data because the web client makes this call directly. If you allow only approved outbound traffic from your network, you must list traffic to PubNub as allow. So these three type of database allow you for a real time streaming and update of data set. Another feature which is a very good features which is a paginated reports. Paginated reports are designed to print it or shared among the Power BI user or among any specific user. They are called paginated because they formatted to fit well on a page. They display all the data in a table even if the table span multiple pages. You can control their report page layout exactly as per the desire of the user. Power BI Report Builder is the standalone tool for authoring paginated report for the Power BI service. Paginated report often have many pages. We will see in our example that, for example, this the example I will show you. It has a 563 of pages. Currently, we are on the page number 560, and that's showing the report as a paginated. The prerequisite, similarly, we want some type of prerequisite that allow for a paginated reports. The license requirement for Power BI paginated reports are the same as for Power BI report PBIX file. You don't need a license to download Power BI report builder from the Microsoft Download Center for free. With a free license, you can publish paginated report to my workspace in the Power BI service. With a Power BI Pro license or PPU license, you can publish paginated reports to the other workspace. You also need at least a contributor role in the workspace. That is all the prerequisite if you want to use a paginated report in Power BI. Dashboard reporting. Dashboard reporting is also one of the good feature of Power BI. A Power BI dashboard is a single page, often called a canvas, that tells a story through visualization. A well-designed dashboard contains only the highlights of that story. Readers can view related reports for the detail. Now we see the advantages of dashboard. What advantage user can get from the dashboard? Dashboard, you know that dashboard are a way to monitor your business and see all your important matrices at a glance. The visualization on dashboard can come from one underlying data set or many, and from one underlying report or many reports. A dashboard combines on-premises and on-cloud data, providing a consolidated view of data, as we can see in the example. Now heading over to Hamad, he will show us the dashboard.
Okay, so once you gather all your data and once you clean and transform all your data according to your needs, once you remove all your errors, you can start visualizing your data by using varieties of visuals out there. Well, so this is a sample dashboard that I created using Power BI desktop. Okay, so this card is this visual is basically a card you can see here. So it visualizes you a single value like total sales, total cost, and total number of orders. Okay, and we have now adjacent to it have KPI. So KPI is basically when we want to analyze our revenue with some target that I want with some targets we have defined. So we can visualize it how my goal is and how at the current position on which I am standing now. Okay, so for that, we have two things. First is the value field out there on which I inserted revenue. Second, we have trend axis on which we insert date dimension fields, and last we have the target. So I created a measure for last year sales as my as I'm targeting my last year sales with my total revenue here. Okay. And then I use a pie chart here. Pie chart for the total revenue against my each gender, like how much revenue was generating from the female, how much revenue was generating from the males. Okay. And then we have this bar chart is actually representing how much profit I earned in each category. And we can also drill down that, which I will show you later in that course, in that demo. Okay, so let me show you a simple example how you can create a visual. So okay, so to use a visual, you just need to click on the visual. Okay, so it will automatically drag down onto the reporting pane. Here you can see we have x-axis, y-axis. Okay, so on the x-axis we drop down the dimension on which we want to analyze our value, and on the y-axis we insert the value that we want to analyze. For example, I want to analyze my cost, so I will insert cost onto the y-axis, and by which I want to analyze that, like for example according to the countries or region, so I will drag down country here. So you can see that the Power BI does is what it automatically aggregates the value and sum up the value according to each category and visualize you. Okay. Or you can apply formatting here also, like applying border colors, a background color, providing its data label by going into this format visual option, and just on that data labels it will show you here now. And you can also change the background color by going to the effects and seeing that from here. Okay, over to Adnan.
So download free desktop version. So Power BI Desktop is a free application you install on your local computer that lets you connect to transform and visualize your data. And you can very easily download it from the internet and install on your system quickly. It does not require any sort of extra effort. And second thing is a data export. Yeah, as you can see that in the snap, we can export the data in different formats in CSV, in Excels, or as per the user requirements. Hamad will show us the from where we can and export the data in different formats.
So that is the visual I have created. So when you click on these three options and when you go there, so here we have option available of export data. You can export that data into a CSV file. So it will, the Power BI also helps you to get this data, that is basically a chunk of data which we are analyzing that. So by going into the three options pane, selecting export data, that file will be exported on your local computer.
Drill down is one of the good features in Power BI. We can drill down the data until we achieve our desired result. To use this functionality, we must have to attach the hierarchy into the our data set. If we don't have the hierarchy and if we don't attach the hierarchy, so we cannot drill down and drill up to the data. We also can get the help from the Power BI community. We can get the desired information, what's upcoming webinar is available in the Power BI. Okay, if we are facing any issue, so we can raise the question in the Power BI community. We can get the response on those questions that we raise, and we can get this type of help from the Power BI community. Data analysis expiration is one of the great features of Power BI. Data analysis expression DAX is the programming language that is used throughout Microsoft Power BI for creating calculated columns, measures, and custom table. It is a collection of function operators and constant that can be used in a formula or expression to calculate and return one or more value. You can use DAX to solve a number of calculation and data analysis problem, which can help you create new information from data that is already in your model. In Power BI, you can use different calculation techniques and function to create measures or calculated columns. Primarily, you will be able to achieve the same result by using these techniques. However, the key is to know how and when to apply them. Through DAX, you should be able build quick measures, create calculated columns, use DAX to build measures, discover how contexts affect DAX measures, use the calculate function to manipulate filters, implement time intelligence by using DAX. So now I over to Hamad. He will explain us and show us the functionality of DAX analysis, drill down, and Power BI community.
So when you drill, as Nanali said in the presentation, that if you want to drill down and want to see at each level, so you must have some hierarchy set out by yourself. Okay. So here you can see that I have used a column chart here, and on the y-axis I have the revenue. I want to analyze my revenue according to my categories, subcategories. So here you can see that is a hierarchy, that in the category, then in the subcategory, and in the model names, we have some kind of the hierarchy. So if we insert fields like that, so we can achieve drill down feature in Power BI. So to enable drill down, just go over here and it will show you an option. Click to turn on drill down. When you click on that button, so drill down option will be enabled, and you can drill down further. Okay, so and you can see that it is the subcategory, and when you click on the twirling bars, it will further go down onto the model name field. So drill down is very exciting. You can also use that in matrices and in other visuals also. Okay, so and another thing about DAX is DAX is basically a language, an expression language in Power BI, which we use. Like show you that I use this major a whole documentation by Microsoft is also available. We use DAX to perform complex calculations which we can't use, which is not fulfilled by the features out there, but we can do that using DAX. So the whole documentation is available on Microsoft by Power BI. So we can hit and go download and see what data expression is. So on this documentation, Microsoft provided a lot of functions out there which will help you to create your own logic, and plus examples are also out there. Okay, so what was the
Okay, so that was all about the benefits and features of Power BI that we had now. Now we are moving to our next topic, which is why should your business needs Power BI? The first one is key performance indicators. A key performance indicator is a measurable value that show how effectively you are meeting your goals. Think of KPI as your company scorecards, a way of measuring whether or not you are delivering on your objective. KPI dashboard are tools that unite data sources and provide at a glance visual feedback, showing how your business is performing against your key performance indicators. Why KPI is necessary? We can monitor the company financial health, measures progress against strategic goals, spot problems early. Through KPI, we can identify the problem in a early stages, and similarly, we can take the remedial measures on that one, make timely adjustment to tactics, motivate team members, make better decision and faster. So these type of things we can monitor and handle from the key performance indicators. The next one is mobile apps. Power BI offer a set of mobile apps for iOS, Android, and Windows mobile devices. In mobile apps, you can connect to and interact with your cloud and on-premises data. Hamad will show us now the key performance indicator visuals and how mobile apps work in Power BI.
So that is basically key performance indicators. You can find that visual out there. It is when you hover it, will show you a KPI also. So as I said earlier, we use KPI to see that if our targets has been meet or not, if we are in a loss position or in a running winning position out there. So that is basically the purpose of the KPI is. And second thing is the mobile view. So this is that is the report that you created on your Power BI desktop. So if you go onto the view pane and go onto the mobile layout pane, so here you can further format that how that visual if will look into when you use our mobile app platform. So you just need to drag and drop the visual and screen the and resize it according to your need. So So in that way, the mobile apps will look like in your mobile applications. If I take down this also, here you can visualize the and format what your visuals will look like in the mobile application platform. Okay.
So apart from the out of the box features, we have other application we can use with Power BI, that we have the option to use the Python and as well as the R scripts. So for example, that our requirement is not meet from the what out of the box is available into the Power BI visuals. So we can customize or develop the visuals as per our requirement by using the Python and R script. So Hamad will show us the what visual we have regarding Pythons and R script in Power BI.
So as Adnan said, we have two visuals out there. Number one is our R Python visual. When you click that, a new window will open and here you can write your R script. It's basically used for machine learning purposes. Okay, forecasting, sales forecasting, demand forecasting, something you are trying to predict on the future. Okay. So we have two visuals available by Microsoft. Number one is R script and number two is Python script. Where we can write Python code and can achieve machine learning and data modeling and techniques.
So this is another benefit of Power BI real-time dashboard and real-time reports. Real-time dashboards are a form of visualization that automatically updates the user screen with relevant information based on the latest available data. Real-time analytics allow organization to make confident decision based upon up-to-date data. These organizations can expect to be agile and take meaningful action based on the most current insight. Common scenario for real-time analytics includes Internet of Things, IoT devices, factory sensors, e-commerce, inventory management, geo-tracking, financial trading, application telemetry, call centers, and others. What is meant by real time is that the data is always current and users aren't required to interact with visualization. Data visualization refresh automatically to always show current data. Secondly, we have real-time reports. Real-time reporting is a business intelligence tools related to gather data for users immediately and allowing them to view and access important data as soon as it happens. Hamad will show us the real-time dashboard and real-time reports.
Okay, so here you can see, as I show you earlier, I've created a dashboard, and when new data is inserted into the files, we just need to go here and refresh on the visuals. So it will automatically refresh all the new data which has been inserted in your database, in your Excel files, or anything else. So and all the pages are automatically refreshed according to the new latest data. And second thing is that Power BI is responsive. Okay, so when you click on any visual, like say when I click on this bias category, the whole visual will automatically be arranged according to that bias category. And so if I want to like I want to see my revenue, cost, and total order in accessories category only. So when I click on the accessories, all the visuals will get interacted and will show this the result. So that means a responsiveness, and that means a real-time dashboarding. Yes, so and second thing we have is reporting. So when you click on the flash, all the pages, all the data sources will get reflected. So the difference is between dashboard is that the dashboard is a collective. It is a sum up of all your reports, and reports contains a detailed description of your data about your data analysis. So likewise, it is showing that the revenue, cost, and profit in each subcategories out there we have. Okay, so
How manager can make a better decision through dashboards and reports? Definitely, Power BI helps manager for taking a better decision. One of the reason that they can use the decomposition tree, which is out of the box visuals available in Power BI. Decomposition tree visual in Power BI lets you visualize data across multiple dimensions. So we can sort the data or we can drill down the data based on the multiple dimension in the decomposition tree. Similarly, it automatically aggregates data and enable drill down into your dimension in in any orders. It's also an artificial intelligence visualization. So you can ask it to find the next dimension to drill down into base certain criteria. So decomposition tree is a AI based visual in Power BI. This tool is available for ad hoc exploration and conducting root cause analysis. For example, that if you would like to analyze and sort out the monthly or quarterly sales, so you can check it very easily by using the decomposition tree. This tool is valuable for ad hoc and exploration and conducting root cause analysis. Hamad will show us the decomposition tree. This is the example of decomposition tree that in this example we use all the dimensions set like forecast bias, demand type, product type, and plant. So each and every level we can see the percentage and even the name of the demand type and product type plants. So we will see the practical example, how it will help us.
Okay, so let me show you a brief introduction about the decomposition visual, how we can interact with that. Okay, so to use a decomposition tree, we just to go into the insert pane, and here you can see we have a decomposition tree available out there. When you click on that, decomposition tree will get inserted onto the reporting pane. Okay, so here you can see we have two things available. First, number first is analysis, and number second is explain by. So in the analysis field, we drag and drop the visual, the amount that we want to analyze. And in the second explain by field, we drag and drop the field according to which we want to analyze that dimension field, and it will broke down the results into categories and into the first subcategories also. So if you are, so let's say I want to visualize my profit. I will drag profit onto the analyze pane, and I want to visualize that how much profit I earn according to each region. So here you can see when you click on the plus pane and select region, here we can see that how much profit, the total profit is that, and how much profit was coming from Australia, in which region I am earning the most profit, and in which region I am below the my target line also. So, and you can create further some hierarchies by entering the another fields, like I want to see in which region, and further in what category, male, female, in which I got the most profit. Okay, and you can also further break down into some more categories by inserting in the explain by field, and it will show you the result also. You can see that my data is now continuously broken down into each further categories. So I will use if I drag down more like subcategory, like it is showing that the my northeast having most sales in the main category, then the subcategory, and then the sub product category, and then in the subcategory. So here you can see clear presentation of the revenue that is generating from the categories and the regions also.
Q&A feature is also a very important features that helps managers to make a good decisions. Sometimes the fastest way to get an answer from your data is to ask a question using natural language. For example, what were total sales last year's? And second one, use QA to explore your data using natural language capabilities and receives answer in the form of charts and graphs. Unlike a search engine, QA only provides result about the data in Power BI data sets. So you can see that in under the image there is a one question as an example, that total sum of revenue. So it's turning the graph based on the revenue. Now Hamad will show us the practical example.
Okay, so just like decomposition tree, we can also use Q&A feature, which is available out there by Microsoft. So we just need to go onto the insert pane and click on the Q&A box. That box will get automatically populated on your reporting pane. Here, the Microsoft also provides some suggestions. Here you will write your queries in the natural language form, and it will show the results in the form of charts and visuals out there. Okay, so when I click what is my profit, so when I click on that, then what is the profit MTD by homeowner, and it's waiting for a while. So here you can see that we just want to write the query in the natural language form, and it will show the result in the form of a type table or chart also.
What if analysis? We can perform the conditional analysis with the help of features available in the out of the box. What if analysis is a business techniques used to determine how an actual and projected measures is affected by changes in the assumption upon which that are measures is calculated. What if analysis is often used to compare different scenarios and their potential outcomes based on changing conditions. So there are certain type of parameters available to set the condition that will check from what was your actual and what was your current. So Hamad, can you please take you through of what if analysis?
Okay, thank you, Adnan. Okay, so here I've created some sort of what if analysis visual. So to use what if analysis, we just go into the modeling pane and use go to new parameters and select numeric range. So here you can insert the range from 0 to 1, like 1, 10, 100%, 200%. So you go from 0 to 20 and increment it by point 1, point 2. So I've created a visual also here. Here you can see that I have created the visual from 0 to 1, representing 10, 20 to 100%. So the basically the purpose of what if analysis is that I want to see that if I increase my sales price according to some extent 40%, 30%, can I get my target, or what is the impact, or how much sales order will needs I so to achieve that target, or how much purchase orders should I need to complete that target. So it is some sort of like using in demand forecasting and sales forecasting also. So here you can see that my product price and this visual is the same, but when I change from, let's say I am increasing the product price to 40%. So here you can see it is changing, and I can see the profit, that is the actual revenue, and that is my revenue. So I want to see that when I increase the product prices to 40%, what is the impact on the prices, what is the impact on my revenue, how much a profit should I get from when I increases the product price. So you can see that when I increase the product price to 40% or 50%, all the measures are changing now. And you see that is my actual orders. And when I increase the product price to 50%, these orders changing. And second and last thing we have is forecasting. So yeah, Power BI in Power BI we have forecasting which are available by Microsoft by default. We don't want to integrate any third-party application to achieve that. So in Power BI we have a line chart. So when we insert a date dimension field onto the x-axis, Power BI automatically adds the functionality of forecasting feature for our users. So let me show you how we can do that. So if I drag and drop down the profit onto the y-axis, and then in the x-axis I've inserted date dimension. So when you go into the analytics pane, we can see that forecasting option is available by Microsoft. So you just need to on that feature, and you can see that here we have multiple options available. So you can see if I want to analyze forecasting for years, months, I change from here. And if I want to just see my forecasted revenue for 6 months, I can change that. If my data contains some missing information in the last 2 or 3 months, we can minimize that by ignore the last 2 or 3 months from here. And seasonality is that how many in months or in quarters your data varies according to your some limiting condition like Christmas, Avenue, or everything. So that is basically seasonality is. So when you click on the apply, here you can see the visualization is automatically built. And you can see that is my forecasted revenue for the July quarter 3, and that is for August, and it is predicted the revenue for the next 6 months. So here, using that, you can achieve forecasting also in Power BI.
So, gentlemen, this is all about from our side. If you have any questions, you can ask. We have a new and planned feature for Power BI for 2020 third. If you have any questions, so you can raise. If you have any questions, you can contact us info@ksp.com. Thank you. Bye bye, everyone.